Hello guys. I know it's not very bright in here. I'm in my room. I just wanted to be comfortable while I was talking to you. So anyways, I'm really upset right now. And I'm just gonna get into it. Before I started taking Clomid, I told myself that I didn't want to start taking Clomid until I got a new doctor, because I could tell my doctor didn't know much about fertility. She kind of, like, at first it seemed like she did. She sounded very knowledgeable, but as I was asking her pretty basic questions, I was asking, like, have you heard of this or this, she hadn't. And so when I went back a second time, she said maybe it's time that we try Clomid, like, do you want to do that? She told me kind of all about it, I guess. And I was like, you know, I felt like I was just at a point where I wanted to try something else. I felt pretty impatient about wanting to get pregnant, so I was like, you know what, we'll just go for it, kind of thing. What's the worst that can happen? I felt like I did a pretty good amount of research, but I still didn't know everything. And this cycle has been a little crazy, as far as some of the little signs. Like, I have been getting a positive OPK, which is the ovulation predictor kits, I think that's what it is, since cycle day 12, and I'm on cycle day 28 today, and I still have a blazing positive. Now, normally you only get a positive, like, usually like once during your cycle, but I thought, oh, maybe it's just thrown off because of the Clomid or something like that. But I'm also in a few infertility groups, and I noticed that a few people questioned why I was taking Clomid days 4 through 7. And everyone was like, you always take it for 5 days. So I thought maybe I had looked at the bottle wrong. And I'm like, well, whatever. I'm like, I listened to the instructions that were on the bottle. I'm like, I just listened to my doctor. So it's been getting to me because, like I said, the cycle's a little weird. And so I decided to check the bottle today. Sure enough, she had prescribed it to me days 4 through 7. It should have been days 4 through 8. You can take Clomid different days throughout your cycle, like it could be days 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, or I don't know. What I'm trying to say is you can take it any different, there's certain amounts of, like, what am I trying to say, guys? Sorry. You can take it different cycle days. It's always just going to be 5 days total, but she prescribed it to me 4 days. So I was like, you know, maybe I'm just reading misinformation on the internet, so let me call the pharmacist. So I did that, and she agreed that was a little weird. She said, no, she said, you usually always take it for 5 days. And I was like, okay, like, what can I even do now? Like, it's way past the time for me to do anything. So I decided to call my doctor. She's not there, so I basically left a note for her, and the lady that had taken the message, she also was like, yeah, I'm not really sure why she would have prescribed it to you for 4 days rather than 5. I'm really frustrated. Not to say that maybe I won't end up pregnant this cycle. I know that it could still happen, but either way, this cycle is pretty screwed up, and I would imagine it could also screw up the fact that I could be getting pregnant this cycle. And it's too late to do anything about, and just knowing that, like, this could have really screwed things up. And there's nothing that I can do about it, and I wish that I would have listened to myself, knowing that I should have probably got a new doctor before taking a pretty serious medication. A lot of people also get ultrasounds and, like, blood work throughout the time that they take Clomid, and my doctor didn't do that. I actually emailed her a week ago and said, hey, I'm noticing a lot of people that I talk to also get ultrasounds and blood work done when they're on Clomid to make sure that your levels are where they need to be, just so you know if the medication's working or not, because there's no sense in you taking it another month if it's going to, you know, if you're not going to ovulate while taking it, kind of thing. So that's why you do blood work, to make sure that everything's good to go. Also, Clomid thins the lining of your uterus, so you can't take it for unlimited amount of months. You only get a certain amount of months. And just to think that, like, this could have ruined one of the months that I had taken it because she prescribed it to me wrong. And that's frustrating, because that's messing with my body. And I just, you know, if a doctor doesn't have enough knowledge about something, why would they prescribe it? Why wouldn't she just say, hey look, I'm not very knowledgeable in this area. You're gonna need to go see, you know, a gynecologist or an OB. I always forget, anyways, before getting this prescribed to you, kind of thing. Like, I just trusted her. It seemed like she knew what she was talking about. It seemed like she, I mean, like I said, I guess I felt like maybe she didn't know a ton about it, but that second time that I had gone back, it seemed like she like knew what she was doing enough to where I felt comfortable. But I think maybe deep down inside I kind of was like, you should have just got a new doctor before going this route. And now I'm really regretting that, and I'm just so frustrated to think that I could have just really fucked up my body because of my doctor prescribing it to me the wrong way. So anyways, I don't know, just wanted to do a little update. I'm not gonna try to talk too much longer here. I'll show you what my charting looks like this cycle. Let me just turn the camera around here. So here we go. So I think, I don't know for sure, but I think this day was possibly where I ovulated. That's cycle day 21. But the weird thing about it was that my temperatures rose for 1-2 days and then it started to go down. So I always thought that your temperatures rose, like continually rose for 3 days if you ovulated. So then it starts to go down and then now it's like shot up. And so I'm wondering, did I actually just ovulate here on day 25? And if so, I probably missed that day because like I said, I started getting a positive test on over here, like on cycle day 12. Yep, right around here, guys. This is when I got my positive test, and come to find out, I realized those tests weren't working for me. But to make sure that I wasn't missing that day, we did what we needed to do to make sure that I wasn't gonna miss that day. And then come to find out, my temperatures weren't lining up. So I was like, okay, like, yeah. So anyways, that's what my charting looks like, and I'm pretty sure that this cycle is going to be very long, because if I did in fact ovulate on day 21, that means my period or pregnancy won't come until 14 days after cycle day 21. So that's, I think, a 35-day cycle. And then what if I really just ovulated right here? I mean, I don't know. I'm not too familiar. This, I've only done charting like for 5 times now, and I'm not a pro, but anyways. So guys, so I guess the moral of this story is make sure that your doctor knows what they are prescribing you. So I don't know what's going to come out of this. There's nothing more that can be done. I just need to get, I actually, you know what, I met with a fertility specialist and I have my second appointment next week, so maybe I'll talk about that in a future video. So that's good, but for this month, I mean, who knows? Everything could be screwed up and I'm frustrated, guys. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.